So I don't know much. Okay, it's one of the things you'll never catch. I don't think From Father to Son is playable. Switch your library for a vehicle card, put it in your hand, because I don't think there are vehicles. I can think of one. Let me shut my door. Some dogs are all over the place. So this is Magic the Gathering, and this is a sealed event on Magic Arena. Okay, I chose this event because if you win, you get to play more Magic, and my ultimate goal, anytime I play Magic, is I want to play it all day. Right? So that's why I want to play Magic the Gathering, is because when I want to go play Magic, I want to play that shit all day. Okay? So in sealed, what you do is you get 6 packs of Magic cards, and you open your packs. And we're going to spend a considerable amount of time looking at this stack of rares, okay? And talk about what's playable and what's not playable, okay? Now, um, here's the way I look at your ultimately staring down the barrel of a Primeval Titan and trying to say, is this a good Magic card in limited? Um, and again, it kind of depends on what the support looks like. Um, and because you know that every deck has removal in it, and especially if you're winning rounds and you're playing against other people that are winning, they've got to have removal in their deck. So they've got to have something from your Primeval Titan, right? And so what I see, and again, I'm allowed to be wrong. Okay, but what I see that I will have questions about until I answer. And so one of the questions that I see that I want to answer is I want to cast Nibelheim of Flame, that card in the lower left corner, on Astral Titan, on Primeval Titan, and see where that gets us. Okay? And I think when I look at my rares, that's what I see is green red, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rares, 2 drop, 2 3 drops, 2 4 drops, and a 6 drop Titan. Now, I think you have to splash for Sephiroth. Okay. I think that Excalibur combos with Sephiroth. So you'll see there, whenever you gain life, put a charge counter on Excalibur Dua for 2. And equipped creature gets 1+1/+1 for each charge counter on Excalibur. And it just so happens that Sephiroth says, whenever it enters or attacks, you may sacrifice another creature if you do draw a card. And so you would actually be making Sephiroth attack for more damage with Excalibur equipped. Okay? And again, I see this sort of like vehicle sub theme, and I'm just letting you know it's not here. I don't think the Darkness Crystal is playable at outset. So I'm before we look at the rest of the cards, I'm thinking Jund question mark. You also got to understand that included with, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these 7 rares, you got to come up with another 17 or so cards to play, 16 or so cards to play. So I want to make sure we say, hey, for this is for a friend of ours too, was asking for a tutorial. This is the worst Magic the Gathering tutorial you'll ever see in your life. Okay. Uh, One of the things about this format is that it's heavily bomb dependent, right? So all these rares that we're spending a lot of time looking at, these can be real swingy, Okay. What I see that looks real good is Zeldinkt and Cypher Almase as sort of a combo because your Zeldinkt should have high power with Astral Titan playing extra lands. We can play any land in extra of our turn. Zeldinkt helps us cast Primeval Titan sooner, right? Now, this weird shit, return a land you control to your owner's hand, I'm not a fan of, but drawbacks are a thing, right? I guess it keeps your opponent guessing whether you've got removal or not. But yeah, you get to play an extra land, but then you got to bounce a land, so it's like it's forcing you to play your cards and end this game, right? So yeah, this is sealed, and we're spending a lot of time just looking at the rares and seeing how they interact and saying, is that good or not? Well, I happen to think playing Excalibur on one into Sephiroth and then equipping Excalibur to a Sephiroth whenever I have 3 extra mana, which I would have playing 2 additional land, a land on each turn, putting additional 2 lands in play. I would have that extra mana at some point in the game to attach this to Sephiroth and then have it interact favorably. Okay, so again, you have to acknowledge like you're probably not playing all of these cards in a game, and so this whole like all these cards got to work together ideal is kind of boo boo if the red and green cards in our pool otherwise are trash. So this is a very removal dependent format, and so before we're looking at any strategy, you're just looking at what you got in rares and saying, look how they interact. Okay. See how these cards interact because they're playable. These cards. Not Father to Son, not Darkness Crystal. I want to cast Nebelheim of Flame on Primeval Titan. That seems good. Right? Target creature you control deals 6 damage to each other creature. This works with Sephiroth. This makes your Excalibur bigger, right? And then you just have Sephiroth with Excalibur and Primeval Titan to beat everybody up. You see what I'm doing here? These cards. But you can only play these cards if you have support in these colors in your pool. So that's what kind of makes it a unique challenge. Okay. So we're gonna hold our breath and just hope that our support in these colors is really good so that these cards become more playable. Because this thing, that little 3 mana thing, multiple combat phases, if you have better creatures is really good. I'm recording a tutorial. We just a few minutes. I don't even need to play. Just so I think like these cards before we look at everything else are like super playable. But yeah, if there's a vehicle, I still don't know that this is playable. Okay, so we don't know that what's playable. It really depends on what is in our pool. Otherwise, we're just gonna hold our breath. Okay. What I look for is removal. Where is the removal? Okay. So let's start with the white cards. And we're looking for a piece of removal. Okay, so here's what I see. Aerith Rescue Mission. If you choose, take 59 flight of stairs. You tap up to 3 target creatures and put a stun counter on them. On one of them. Is that good? No. But here's what's good. 3 white aura sight. Exile target non-land permanent. 4 mana artifact that also taps for white mana. Does this mean that we're playing white? No. But what we're going to do is we're going to set aside our removal first, and we're going to play the colors that our removal supports, unless our other cards are that good, basically. Okay, so in Blue for removal. There isn't any. Here's Shiva. She does that. Here's permission and syncopate. And you have two of them. So in my eyes, so far, I don't think there's enough removal in the non-Jund colors for the rest of blue and white to support being playable based on what I see in removal, right? Because we know that all of our rares are all Jund colors, red, green, and blue, red, green, and black. Sorry, okay. And so I can tell you of just a few minutes into deck building that I'm not playing blue and white. Why? I don't think I have enough to support a blue-white deck, even if I put all of the remaining cards in the deck. So check this out. I'm just going to do the easiest thing to do. Oh, it feels so good to do this. And just say, there's your 40-card blue-white deck. Now, try to think about what you're doing here. And is this going to... it's crazy that was a... The Retrieve the Esper with Ether is a thing. It taps for blue mana. You exile it, and when you cast your next spell, copy it. So I would, on 4 mana, cast Ether. On 5, cast Retrieve the Esper, exiling Ether, and just get 2/3/3s. Right? You got a couple of Rook turrets. Realm sketching lets you make a target of something. And in my eyes, this would be what I call like your B deck. This would be if you're not a Jund player, you would put this together and be like, oh my God, 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's it at? 5. But you really got to look at what are good playable creatures and what are not. And when you look at it, you only got 10 creatures. So this is not a playable deck. Okay? So what you got to have is you got to have a bunch of dudes. That's how you win in Magic the Gathering. So I'm going to go with my gut and say, hey, when we originally looked at our pool, what did we notice? Jund, right? Black, red, green. Okay. And now what I do is I think about, okay, now I know what pool I'm in. I know that I need dudes. Okay. What I would look for here, hey, what's up? I'm giving a little tutorial how to play Magic. This is sealed. You get like 6 packs. We've opened all the packs. We looked at the rares. We talked about how we have black, red, and green rares. Okay. We talked about how I noticed this right here. A little multi-bow. Okay. It takes multi cards to pull this off. But Sephiroth, okay, with Excalibur equipped. Oh shit. Okay. Read. Whenever you gain life, put a charge counter on Excalibur. So equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each charge counter on Excalibur 2. Sephiroth says, whenever another creature dies, target opponent loses 1 life, and you gain 1 life. If this is the 4th time this ability has resolved this turn, transform Sephiroth. And you see on the right, if is a unique card. It's a double-sided card. That's why it's super, super nasty. Okay. It says, as this creature transforms into Sephiroth, 1-winged angel, you get an emblem with whenever a creature dies, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So if you can flip Sephiroth, you get something that for the rest of the game your opponent can't do anything about it. Okay? It's one of the things I learned in Magic the Gathering that you're like, oh, okay. So ultimating a planeswalker, or in this case, flipping Sephiroth, gives you an emblem that your opponent can't interact with. And that ultimately gives you inevitability. Because it also says whenever Sephiroth attacks, you may sacrifice any number of creatures, and if you do, draw that many cards. Okay? So, I got a little combo because I got a Primeval Titan, okay? And I have Nebelheim of Flame. So, for those of you wondering what I'm trying to do here, and keep in mind, you can't, this is a sorcery, so you can't just cast it into getting your Astral Titan killed, right? But with Excalibur equipped to Sephiroth, cast Nebelheim of Flame on my Astral Titan, which makes my Primeval Titan deal 6 damage to each other creature, killing pretty much everything else on the battlefield, and ultimately growing Sephiroth big enough that it doesn't die, I think. I could be wrong. I think each time, I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I think it's worth trying. And then what other cards are we going to play? Okay, so what I do is I look at the removal first. Okay, because 2 of these cards are non-creatures. Sephiroth, 3 mana, 3/3 on its face is good enough, and this is 6 mana, 6/6 trample. When it enters or attacks, search your library for up to 2 lands. So landfall stuff is good. I see Farseek. I'm going to play Farseek in my big mana deck, right? Search your library, put it in play, right? Again, I think they're going to kill my Primeval Titan and my Sephiroth. I think I want to buy that back with Rydia's return, but we might not need it. We might have better card quality. I see Destroy Target Creature, which kind of works with Sephiroth and Sephiroth's intervention, right? I also see 2 Vain Treachery, so black removal looks great. Fight On might be better to get these back. Here's your Thunder Magic. Card from a graveyard back to your own hand. That seems good. Choco Comet. X damage and a game finisher. Okay, still a non-creature card. Okay. Okay. In terms of these cards, I'm just gonna leave these cards sit for now. Okay, there's plenty of options here, but ultimately what we need are creatures. Dudes. And this is where games are won and lost, right here, is what creatures do you play? This card right here, really good. Great 2-drop. Didn't I say creatures? Oh, there you go. I was like, it's too much. Okay, let's see. 5 mana, destroy target creature. I think I want to play that, actually. When it dies, create a treasure. I think I want to play that. Adds mana. Adds mana. Gives our Primeval Titan double strike when it attacks alone. Adds mana, adds mana. Adds mana. Hmm. This was like another bomby card. That'd be great, right? Let's see. So I think with Sephiroth, Nibelheim of Flame, and Astral Titan in your deck, that eggs death, right? When it enters, you gain 3 life. At the end of your turn, if there's 6 or more permanent cards in your graveyard, transform X death. So it's a 3 mana 3/3 on its face. But when you flip it, because of your combo, it becomes a X3 trample. It's like another Astral Titan. And then we'll just play. The question is, so where are we at creature wise? Ooh, so we definitely need to play that. What does this guy do? Hmm. It's my brain's telling me cut non-creature cards. So maybe we cut this. Actually, I take it back. I think that Farseek is better than Undercity Dire Rat. And that the quality of our my brain is telling me take out Rydia's Return for Gigantode. We'll see. Oh, do we have lands? Come in at 2/2. Not playing 4 colors, that's for sure. And then as far as a 40 card deck, pretty even distribution of lands, pretty middle of the road sort of curve. 2 drop, 3 drop, ramp. I always think like the first, they gotta have a plan for like the first and second thing you play, right? So I'm running out my gardener and seeing if they use a removal on it. They don't. Okay. So here we have 4 mana. And again, I'm playing that out. Let them use their spells on shit I don't care about. Oh yeah, I love it. Spend your mana not attacking. So I have end of the game in my hand that has menace. Mm-hmm. Should have played out Giganta to probably. No, it's good enough. Hmm. Maybe I'll regret that. I just think I have it. I lied. Didn't have a choice. Either that or discard it. Ooh, we flooded out. I think maybe we sacrificed our creature and we shouldn't have. How much do I gotta pay? I think we're dead. Okay. Can't win if you don't lose first. Kind of we're doing some stuff. Maybe we don't sacrifice our mana guy when we enter, cast our shit a little earlier. Alright, alright. We're on the draw. The pretty middling opening hand, but we have all three colors of mana and we're on the draw. And our opponent mulligans. If we don't win this game, it's because we're terrible. Represent removal. Ooh, and we get to do so much. We actually need to hit second red really bad. So actually, you just play, draw a card. Hopefully it's okay. You needed to get to the second mountain. Cast half our hand. Thank God. We would have drawn a forest. Here's red, red. So there's Reno and Rude down. Bye. Oh, I don't need that. I got 5 mana. I already hit my land drop. They got all their mana available. Eat six. Now they have to do something. Love to see it. Love to see him cast some garbage. I think they call that playing Magic on the front foot. Oh, oh. The question is, does he have two of them? Fine. Second guess himself. Twice. Gotta syncopate. What else you got? Draw two creature cards. Hmm. Okay. probably just untap cast the spell. Use. He has a creature in hand. He has an Elder Wisdom. There's a land. Can't play their creature. Just equip for 2. It does. Untap, you're done. That's to block it. Now I'm casting Nibelheim Flame out of my graveyard. Ooh, beat by counterspell. Jesus. One to zero. Look at that. That was an incredible game of Magic to be having. Fucking cold-blooded counterspell in their deck. Sure. Removal. Dig to red. 2-drop in hand. Removal in hand. Oh yeah. 2, 3, 4. With a mountain in our deck. We curve out. For the 0-3. Let them know we're friendly. Play a forest. Reno and Rude. But now they have to produce 2 creatures to stop that. They're also playing 3 colors. Handful of gas. You're good, Toad. Trader. Jesus. Now we have red mana. Blocks your dude. Exiled Reno and Root. I think that was a bad use of your mana. Adds red. Some pressure on you. You see, the problem with playing white aura sight in a deck with egg stuff is that they want different things. This wants permanents in your graveyard. Yeah, I got something for that. Now we have 6 mana. 1 green mana, huh? Wonder what that does. About to get ugly. Hope he blocks with T-Rex. Veins Treachery is very good. No blocks, huh? Double strike, Toad. Same question, sir. Hmm. So keep in mind, they still have to answer that question every turn. Jesus Christ. It's the worst. That's card such a beating. And killing your warlock. I should have sacked the gardener. They're at 2. The comet won't help. That won't help. And they also have to have removal for Sephiroth. I think I'm just dead. I see. Yeah, sometimes I'm dead. Okay. One thing you can never get too wrapped up in is winning and losing. It's just a quick O3. What did we learn? Gotta be more low to the ground. I see it. Gotta get better at a the right mindset. Anyway, that was a quick O3. Sealed. I don't feel like I made a lot of play mistakes. I just, again, like our deck was too low to the ground. Not low to the ground enough. Like getting there. That's what I think. And that's what's happening. Anyway, have a good rest of your day, y'all.